I would like to introduce our third resource person, Zamir Gulzar, who is an assistant professor in the Department of Computer Science and Artificial Intelligence in SR University, Warangal. He had received PhD in computer science from B.S. Abdul Rahman Criset Institute of Science and Technology, Chennai, and he had 47 years of experience in teaching and had published more than 20 papers in international journals. He also presented 20 papers in the International National Conference and attended several workshops. Beside that, he had edited a book which is a special issues in a journal and also had two patents in his credit. He is serving as an associate editor in IJICTE and reviewer in various others reputed journals. With this, I would like to welcome you, sir, to the session. You may take the session, sir. Zamir, sir, you're there?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Am I audible, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am. So, yes, sir, you're audible. So you can take, sir. The session is yours.
Good evening, one and all. Okay, I won't be taking much of your time. I know you'll be waiting for your dinner. I'd like to congratulate Shillong and Cape Tamaran for conducting such a beautiful FDP. It's not an easy job to conduct, like I study and I'm late in the marriage. So the speakers have left a little bit for me. I'll be sharing my experience and a little bit of information, whatever I'm having. So this is the overall outline. I'll brief you up with the citation styles, which you might have previously during previous week. Okay, then I'll be going with publication, and definitely when talking about the research, so plagiarism is a issue over there. So what actually is citation is nothing. Well, you give credit to an individual or to an author, two authors. Okay, you are citing their papers. Okay, their individual intellectual work, you are having support. You are taking a support from others' work in order to support your research, and you are giving a citation to their work. Citation means giving credit to them. Then it is their work, and it's helpful in my job. Okay, take this portion from this very particular paper or a book or a journal or any online paper. So it will be helpful. Citation is helpful in locating the source of any either a manuscript or citation or any okay. What actually the citation will include? It will include the publication and the location where it was published and type of the paper and sometimes UI also. That is the digital object. Now coming to the citation styles, okay. So there are famous citation styles like APA is there, MLA style is there, Chicago style is there, and IEEE style is there. APA basically was created by American Psychology Association, and it was mainly used in psychology and the social science papers. But nowadays it is being used in other disciplines as well. Okay, in APA citation, there is no distinction is made between whether you are citing a book, whether you are citing or an article or a document from an internet or any other electronic format. If it is a web page, simply the page number won't be provided in that case. I have given a diagrammatic representation of this APA style and all. If in case users are not able to see the slides properly, I'll later on share the slides as well. I'll share with the organizers. They may send it to the participants also. So now coming to the second slide, that is MLA style, that is modern language association style. It is usually used for humanities and especially writing in language and literatures. So the style actually is we are having a parent citation in the text and we are having an alphabetical order in the references. That is actually what MLA style is all about. And moving on to the third one, that is the Chicago documentation. Chicago style, it was actually introduced by the Chicago University Press in 1906. Here we are actually mentioning the author and the date of the publication. In the text, wherever you want to give the citation, you are going to mention the author and the date of the publication. Usually, we will use the surname of the author and the year of the publication number. Now, citation in Chicago style, it can be given in two ways. One is the thing that in a particular page you will be having there is a header and the footer. Okay, in the footer you will be writing the footnote. There also you can give the reference. You can cite that particular paper which you are following. And in the bibliography at the end of the paper you can also cite. So Chicago style will provide you with these two things. You can give a reference in the footnote as well as you can give the reference at the end of the paper in the bibliography. But if you want, if any author who want to cite a same source multiple number of times, okay, if I, for example, if I'm writing a page and I want to refer a particular manuscript, but I want to refer it more than one time, okay, so it's not logical that we are going to write the paper, the citation of that particular paper in bibliography or in a footnote more than once. Okay, in that case, we actually using our ibid dot. Okay, ibid dot. Okay, actually it is a Latin word. Ibid means same place. Okay, I'll give you an example. For example, if you are writing your citation in a paragraph in a first page, okay, and you are quoting a particular paper, a particular reference, and you are quoting it more than once from particular page only. Okay, so at the you are giving the citation, you are giving the reference of that paper. Okay, if you are quoting it second time also, so instead of writing the full reference, you are writing the word IBID dot. Okay, so you are writing IBID. IBID means from the same reference. Okay, and again, if you are taking a reference from another page, for example, earlier you had a reference from a page number. Now you are going to refer from a page number 3. In that case, you are going to write IBID dot, then page number. If a source is from a particular page more than once, then you have to write simply IBID. If a source is from a particular source but from 2-3 different pages, in that case, you are going to write IBID with page numbers. So this is the liberty which Chicago style is giving you. Okay, instead of writing the full reference, you are writing the word IBID, IBID dot. Dot is must because it's an abbreviation. So a period is always included with the IBID. I think in full mode it is not visible. I'll show you here. Maybe you might have missed. This is the IBID style. How when we refer more than one. You can see in the example, I am referring John Bright Cherima, the Anchor Bible. Okay, this is the reference. Okay, I am quoting in my manuscript or in my book or whatever I am writing. Okay, I am taking the things from the page number 60. It is given over here, page number 60. If you see second line, I am writing IBID only. It means another reference is from 60 only. Then in the third line, I am writing the IBID dot comma. It means now the page number has been changed. Now it is 65. Okay. This way we can avoid of writing the full references. With the Chicago style only, you can do this. This is called IBID. If you want to cite one source many times. Now coming up to IEEE citation style, it's primarily used for electronics and engineering. Okay, and there are 3 main parts in the reference style. First part is the author name. which is listed as the first initial of the first name, then full last. Then the title of the article, if it is an article, patent, or a conference in the quotation marks, and the title of the journal or the book in the Italian. So if you are having cloud computing is the journal name, you have to give that in italics. So I'm having certain examples over here for IEEE citations. You can see for the first four examples are there. These are the references we are giving. How we are giving references over here in the brackets. In the brackets, you are simply giving the numbers. If it is the first reference, you will write in brackets first, second, third. Then in the bibliography, you have to order them accordingly. You have to order them as per their numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, you have to order them. Here in the brackets, in the text, you have to simply give the number of the reference. So there is no need to give the author name, the date, or the page numbers in IEEE citation. It is very quite easy. It's very easy as compared to other citation styles. If you follow, if you are from an engineering background and all, if you are following like IEEE citation styles, it's quite easy. So then coming to the part of publication. If you are in research, surely you want your manuscripts to be published. You want your book chapters to be published. Okay. So certain tips I would like to give over here as far as the publication is concerned. Whenever you are choosing any journal, if you are choosing any journal from your stream, if you are from humanities, science, engineering, okay, make sure that you are targeting the name of the journal. In abstract, there should be some word which should target the name of the journal. Okay. For example, if it is mobile computing, then in my abstract somewhere it has to be written mobile or computing. It should come, and your abstract should contain the problem actually you are going to solve, object, solution, and the findings. Okay. Normally, if you see Emerald is the publisher, and Emerald will ask you these things separately in their abstract. If you are writing for an Emerald journal, they will ask you to write the abstract in the form of like separately you have to write the problem, objective, solution, and findings. Rest of the journals they won't ask you like that in that format. Okay, you are writing an abstract in 150 or 250 words. Okay, but it should cover all those things. Okay, if it is covering all those things, if it is targeting the theme, okay, normally the editor, the chief editor, he is not going to read your full paper. He will look upon your abstract only. If he finds that it's an interesting, he will pass on to the peer review portion. Okay, that is what you will see. Most of the journals will be having a time frame. That time to the first decision. First decision has to be taken by the editor in chief. Editor in chief will decide whether this paper should go for a peer review or not. How he will find it? He is going to check your abstract. So your abstract should be strong. And one more tricky thing is over there. If you are going to write for a particular publisher or a particular journal, okay, try to check some of the papers from that journal itself, okay, which you can refer in your paper, in your manuscript. Try to give them citation. Okay, because there are certain editors, they are saying if we are giving favor to the authors, they should also favor us. There are some editors. So if they will find out that you have given some citation, one or two citations to the papers which are published in that particular journal, surely there are chances, you are increasing the chances of paper getting accepted or being sent for the peer review. This is one of the technique people are following. Okay. Now coming to the kind of the journals we are having Scopus as well as Web of Science journals. Okay, so I'll tell you the Scopus journals. It's nothing. It's an database created by the Elsewhere. Elsewhere is the publisher. Okay, he is creating the database where your abstracts will be kept. Okay, so if anybody is searching any paper in the Scopus, it will be easy for him to search the papers and all. And one more thing is that your title should be catchy. It should not be long enough. Why it should not be long enough? If you are having a catchy titles or small titles, it will be easy for the users to search in Google. Okay, because it's very difficult to write the query. Okay, you can try it now also. If you are going to search anything, one thing will come up to your mind that how should I write the query? Okay, if your journal title is very long, Okay, it will be very difficult to search your journals, and the chances of getting citations are less. Okay, because if your papers are getting published, you also want that you should have some citation. People should cite your papers. They should see your work. Okay, so the title should be catchy and it should be very easy to search for the search engines. So coming up to the Web of Science Scopus journals don't have impact factors. Okay, that's another discussion. So if you want to go for an impact factor journal, you have to search the Web of Science journals. Okay, Web of Science journal, it will start the basics of the Web of Science. The lower level of the base, Web of Science, it will start from ESCI. You can say ESCI is the counter to Scopus journal. Scopus is a database from elsewhere. This is from database from Clarity. Then the highest one is SCI or SCI. Then people who are in social science, for them it will be SSCI. Okay, these are the high impact factor journals where the peer review will be very strict. Okay, this much of information I want to give you with respect to publication, since we don't have much time. Okay, and I'm the last speaker only. Uh, People might be waiting for the dinners also. Now, one more terminology is that is plagiarism. Okay, the previous speaker, sir, want to have a look on this, but he couldn't complete due to time restrictions. Okay, let me have a glimpse of this one. Okay, let me tell you what actually the plagiarism is. You people might not be knowing. Okay, so the plagiarism, it comes from the Latin word. Again, it's a Latin word which means kidnapper. Okay, so kidnapper. The job of the kidnapper is to kidnap someone. Okay, so it is the action of stealing someone else's work and attempting to pass it off as if it is your own. Okay, you are showing that it is your own work. Okay, when scholars are new, that time they don't want to show that they want to show that it is their work, but they don't know the consequences nowadays with respect to the plagiarism. Okay, that is why I want to touch this plagiarism issue, because all of them should be aware what are actually the consequences, what they can face. Okay, these are life threatening consequences with respect to the plagiarism. Okay, it's not a crime, but a copyright infringement is there. Okay, let me directly tell you. For example, if you are going to, if you are reading on Chinese paper, you are translating the Chinese paper, thinking that nobody will see and check. Okay, and without giving citations and all, you are trying to say this is your work. Okay, so that is again plug. You are stealing the work. You are stealing the ideas. You are stealing the structure. Okay, that all will come under plagiarism terminology. This is a copyright issue. Okay, let me show you what are all the different types of plagiarisms. Then only you will come to know the gravity of the plagiarism. What actually scholars are doing. Okay, knowingly, unknowingly, it's not their fault, but we have to teach the publication and the ethics of writing papers and all. You can see sometimes it's a copy paste. You can see the incorrect statement. Plagiarism is the reproduction. This is a small sentence. I am writing the definition of the plagiarism because already somebody has written this definition. I cannot write it like this. Okay, if I write it like this, the incorrect one, it means I am showing that this is my own definition of the plagiarism. Okay, so the correct one will be this one, second one. Plagiarism is the reproduction, and at the end, I am giving the citation. I am giving the reference. Okay, so as per the undergraduate course handbook, this is the definition of the plagiarism. Now you see the plagiarism of the structure. Those were the plagiarism of words. Now see the plagiarism of the structure. You can see at the bottom right, you are having keep calm and carry on. Okay, this is one format, a particular structure is there. Now I am trying to copy the same structure, but I am changing the text. Stay relaxed and keep going. You see, there is no difference. The structure will be same. Okay, so this is called a plagiarism of the structure. This is again a plagiarism. You are simply rewording the things. You are simply putting your own words, but structure you are copying. Okay, so this will also come again under plagiarism. Now we'll see the plagiarism of the ideas. Okay, if you are going through any paper and you'll get some ideas, same ideas what actually are explaining in that particular paper, a particular article or in a book. Okay, now you are explaining the same idea as if it is your own. Okay, again that is a plagiarism of ideas. plagiarism of authorship, creator or the originator of any written work. For example, you will see most of the people what they are actually doing. You won't get all the books online. What actually they are doing, they are taking the books, okay, printed books, and they are copying the material from that, okay, which is others' work. Okay, so it means they are doing plagiarism of authorship. They are not giving due credit to the particular person, particular author who has written that. And sometimes unintentionally we'll do the plagiarism. Okay, that we cannot hold the person accountable, but still he cannot justify it that I have done it unintentionally. So again, it will be very difficult. For example, if somebody will sue any other person that you have taken my work, okay. So even though we know he is right, he has done it intentionally. He don't know anything about plagiarism and all, but he cannot prove it. So again, it is a problem for the person who is involved in the plagiarism. Now there is one thing that's called the self-plagiarism. For example, if you have published a manuscript, okay, now you are now it has come in the form of an article, okay. Let me tell you one thing. Before publication, your writing is called manuscript. After it is getting published, it is known as article. Okay. So after you have published one of your article, now you are going for your second article. Okay. But you are copying certain things from your previous work. Okay. You are not citing them. You are not citing your own paper, but you are copying from. Okay. Again, that's called a plagiarism, but that will be a self plagiarism. Now let me show you what are the consequences, what are the rules which has been set by the UGC. Okay, as per UGC guidelines, what are the rules if somebody will be caught doing this plagiarism? Okay, you see the definition as per the UGC also means the practice of taking someone else's work or an idea and passing them as its own. Now you see the consequences. Okay, if your plagiarism level is up to 10%. Okay, there is minor similarity. Nowadays, whenever you want to go to for submission of the thesis or submission of your papers, okay, always make sure that your plagiarism is under 10%. Okay, if you have a Turnitin software or any other softwares, okay, make sure that your plagiarism is less than 10 because it is acceptable as per the UGC guideline. It is acceptable. So you won't be held accountable for that much. 10%. Try to keep it below 10. Up to 10% it is allowed. Now see the level 1 similarity. If you are being caught and your paper is having a similarity of 10 to 40%, such a student will be asked to submit a revised script within the stipulated period of time. So you won't be able to submit another paper for the next 6 months. Okay, so 6 months you have to wait. The level 2 is if your plagiarism is above 40%. Such student will be debarred from submitting a revised script for a period of 1 year. This is the penalty. Okay, this is a penalty for students, but there's a penalty for the faculty also. For example, if I am guiding my scholar and if my scholar will be caught of this plagiarism issue, I am also accountable for that. Okay, there's a separate penalty for me also for that. So both scholars and the supervisor will be held responsible. So if you see the level 3, similarly above 60%, such student registration shall be cancelled. These are the consequences for the scholars for having the plagiarism in their manuscripts. Whether it is intentionally, unintentionally, we cannot prove it. So always try to check. And if somebody will ask you that this journal will accept the 20% plagiarism, it is not journal, it is not their job. It is the job of the particular author who is writing that manuscript. Okay, he will be held accountable. Even if you are sending a manuscript which is 80% plagiarized, the journal will check whether there is any novelty or not. Their job is to publish. Whether it's a paid journal or unpaid journal, they will publish it. Okay, but the thing is, author will be held accountable for his own work. Okay, so sometimes people are getting very happy that papers are getting published unnoticed. Okay, I have seen one paper which was from the Nature. It was copied uh, from our neighboring country, and it was published in Elsevier 5 Impact Factor journal. Okay, after that journal was reported, that paper was reported in the Elsevier journal. Immediately they removed it, and the consequences will be they might have debarred that person for sending their papers to whole Elsevier journals. See, there are penalties for the faculty also. The level two similarity about 40%. You can check over here. Shall be asked to withdraw the manuscript. Shall be denied one annual increment. Shall not be allowed to supervise any PhD or master's degree for a period of 2 years if the plagiarism is above 40%. If the plagiarism is above 60%, shall be asked to withdraw this is for the faculty, this is for the supervisor. He shall be denied the rights of two successive annual increments. He shall not be allowed to supervise to any student for a period of 3 years. So UGC has set the penalty for both the scholar as well as for the faculty members also. So that's why I thought I should touch this topic because the situation is very grave over here. Okay. So what are all the risks which are involved in the plagiarism? Your reputation will be down. Okay, people will call you cheater. Okay, even you are a hardworking person, people won't respect you. That you are losing all your respect, self concept also. Okay, grades also, institution reputation is also down. Okay, your dissertation won't be accepted. You can be expelled from the college with no degree. You can be expelled from the professional organization, and you can lose a job also. So these are the risks involved, which is for both the scholar as well as for the faculties, or I can say the supervisors. So how we can avoid the plagiarism? Okay. So best method is you have to be honest. Okay, the thing which is not your own, the idea which is not your own, don't present that as if it is your own. Okay, there is where the citation has a role to play. Okay, if you are reading my paper and you are getting certain thoughts from it, okay, try to give me due credit. Okay, in that case, you can avoid the plagiarism. So when you have used the source in your paper, you have to give the credit, you have to give the acknowledgement to the author where you have got those ideas, or anything, any small idea also, any simple thing also, if you are getting from others. And use your own work as possible. Okay, I'll tell you one thing. Research is plagiarism is if you're copying from one research article, and the research is if you are copying from multiple articles. Okay, if you see the how we can generate the research gap, you cannot generate the research gap from a single article. If you are reading a single article, you cannot generate the research gap. Okay, and in order to get the new research gap, you should always read survey papers, which are latest survey papers, and you will find in survey papers they will be referring more than 100 references. So it means they have done very much exhaustive work. Okay, they have checked all the papers from the past 10 to 20 years. Okay, in survey papers you will get some kind of research gaps will be there. Okay, future works will be there which other authors might have given. Okay, if you got one such survey paper which will be helpful to you, that is enough for your research. So your job is done. Okay, so the plagiarism is to copy from one source, the research is to copy from multiple sources. If you are gathering ideas from 10 sources, okay, and at the later on, definitely you will be come up with one idea that will be your own. Okay, you have copied from 10 resources. Now, one new idea will be generated from those 10 resources. Okay, so that's why sometimes we used to say plagiarism is copying from a single source, research is copying from multiple sources. So these quotation styles already you might have seen in the previous presenters might have talk about these amyloids and all. Let me take you how we are checking this plagiarism. Let me show you how actually it is going on. See, is this plagiarism? Journal article. At the top, experimental results show this. This is the paragraph. Okay. So this is actually the plagiarized paragraph. So the correct one will be at the bottom one. The second one, this will be the correct one. Zami research on packet loss concealment, reduce packet drop with the increase in the buffer. So here I am mentioning the author. See the second example also. The top one, that is the plagiarized one, it will be called as a plagiarized, even though you have written in your own words. Okay, now you see the student sentence, the experimental research on the packet loss. Okay, but at the end, I am giving the author name. So these are some open source tools, but you should not rely on these tools. Okay, small SEO tool you can rely like 60% you can rely on this. Then I'll show you. This is a well-known plagiarism software. This is called Turnitin. Well-known plagiarism software, Turnitin. This is very accurate. It's a commercial software. It's a licensed software, so you have to pay for it. Okay. Let me show you when you are submitting any article for a plagiarism check in the Turnitin, how actually it is showing that article. See, if you can see over here, all the articles they are having the green color. Green color means it's okay, it's under. But it was previously when UGC was accepting 20 to 25%. That time the setting was done with below 25. So below 25 percentage of plagiarism, it will give you the green signal. You can see it is 7%, 11, 13, 16. Okay, nowadays it has been changed. So it should be below 10. I'll show you. This is how we start in the quick submit. There is one button over there, quick submit button over there. Okay, here we have to upload the paper. Okay, this is our paper which we have uploaded over there. After that upload, it will wait for some time, okay, in order to check the sources. So the Turnitin is checking the sources. It will check student papers. First of all, it will check its own database, the Turnitin database, for similarity check. Then it will check the internet. Then it will check other libraries. Then it will check the student papers. Okay, so there are 4 settings responsible for generating the similarity report in the Turnitin software. You can see over here, it will show you, you can see I have highlighted it. This paper, it is 99%, so it is giving a red signal. Okay, so it is 99% similarity index. So when you click on that report, it will show you, it will even show you the paragraph, the words, even single word, it will show you. Let me take you to that one only. See here. So this was the manuscript. Okay, for testing purpose, I gave it over here. This analysis of data mining algorithm. So all this portion is highlight. It means all is having already present on the internet or somewhere else in the library. So highlighted text will be treated as a plagiarized text. You see there is a text which are plain white. Okay, it means that is not been copied. You can see on the left and right hand side 13% from one source, 12% from one source. I'll show you here. See the introduction part. The introduction part, full paragraph, it is highlighted. It means full paragraph has been copied. It has not been written also, rewritten also. Even it will tell you the percentage from the sources. You can see on the right hand side 99, 99, 98, up to down, up to less than 1% also it will show. So at the end of this report, you will get this type of similarity check. So the 99% similarity index. So it means 99% it is a plagiarized paper. So what are the different sources over there? Internet sources. The percentage of the internet sources is 99. The publication, the article, 77. Other libraries, student papers, which students are submitting to their universities. That portion is 66. So totally overall, it's coming 99%. Then it will tell you the sources also. It will show you the name of the paper. You see this 11%. The author name, everything is over there, and the paper name is there, journal name is there. It will give you the source where it has been copied from. So that is why you have to be a little bit smart. Okay, if you are thinking that softwares won't catch you, okay, it is better to wait to write. There are people who are in hurry to publish their papers. Okay, without knowing these things. Why I am showing you all these things? You will be caught. If you are not careful, you will be caught. Okay, the consequences I have already shown you. Then people won't respect you. Okay, even you are, if you are a scholar, your guide won't believe you. Next time he'll tell you first, give me the report, then only you send the papers to the journals. This is how it is showing. See, white text means there is no similarity for this kind of paragraph. So it will show you the text in different colors. Red means its portion will be, its similarity will be more. Like it will contribute like 60%. And if your plagiarism per similarity index is 50, and then red will show 30, it means red content is more over there. So this is the report, overall report of your submitted document. You see, even this one, Turnitin can check the grammar also. You see, this paper is have a high framework for hybrid search engine for finding relevant documents. This is an article, it's my article only. So when we search, when we check the plagiarism for it, it is showing 8%. Okay. So you cannot have your own self-cited papers also. That should also be counted over here. As per the UGC rule, you can exclude the bibliography and you can exclude quotations. If people are from social science or English, normally they'll put the things in the quotes. Okay, but you cannot use too many quotes in your thesis also. That's also not good. Okay, if somewhere if it is necessary, you can paste that article, paste that paragraph as such, but you have to write that within the quotes. Okay, so here you can exclude the quotations, the bibliography, and 14 consecutive words. These are the filters you can set. Those won't be counted with the plagiarism. So what you have to do while checking the plagiarism, we have to turn those options on. Don't check the bibliography. We have to tell it to the software. Don't check the bibliography. Don't check the double quotations wherever double quotation marks are there. Okay, and don't check 14 consecutive words also. Don't take these three into consideration. So without these three, your plagiarism report will be generated. After that, if it is below 10, your article or your thesis will be acceptable. If it is above 10, even if it is 11%, you have to reduce that 1% by editing your thesis or by editing your manuscript. So I'll stop with this one. I'd like to thank the organizers for providing me a chance. If
Thank
anybody
you.
is having any question with respect to publication or a plagiarism issue, please free feel to ask.
Yes, we are leaving the house for the question answer round. So, any of the participant having any question, you can please inbox us.
Yes, Pooja ma'am, yeah, we can share the people. I'll share it with the organizers. But you should ask questions if you are having any doubt with respect to plagiarism and all, how to avoid and all. Because after seeing the consequences, I think you should be worried.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir.
Can you? I am audible to you.
Ah, yes, sir, yes, sir.
Yes, sir, you're audible.
Uh, Sir, what are you are talking about? 14 consecutives and the things which can be removed in the dialog box while checking the
Ah,
plagiarism.
okay, okay, sir. Okay. Ah, yes,
These
sir, yes, sir. I
instructions can,
got your point, sir.
when you are checking our plagiarism, these instructions should be come on up front so that the person who might not be knowing this, so he can remove those things?
I think most of the people don't know these things. More than 90% of the people don't know these things.
Yes, yes. That's why
So
this
there
is
are
my
three filters.
concern. Sir, the software developer should give the instructions to the person who is checking his plagiarism.
Sir, it is up to the institute. In institute, there will be surely one person who will be checking, okay, because they won't give it to a lot of people. So one person will be there who will be checking the, because there are again so many issues are there which people don't know. Last week I got a call
Sir,
from a Jordan. One professor is there. Sir, I will tell you one more thing is there. It can show you plagiarism of your own paper also. For example, if you are submitting like this Turnitin software, if you are submitting your paper once, it will, what it will do, it will store your paper in its own database. Okay. Now it is showing you
that is the
5%
archive.
plagiarism. You are saying, yes, sir, yes, sir. Now again, if you are checking it second time, now it will show you 100% plagiarism. Why? Because
That
it
is
is checking in its database first.
handle.
So we have one setting over there. Okay, we have one setting over there. We will check no repository. So whenever you are checking for the plagiarism, your paper won't be sent to the repository, that particular institute repository. So it won't be stored anywhere over there. So even if you are checking twice or thrice or four times your plagiarism, it won't be stored over there. Then it won't show the self plagiarism.
Sir, that is definitely true. As I have checked my plagiarism, it is showing 16%.
Okay,
Okay. And
okay,
when
sir.
I find my inclusive report, this text is having much more than text which has been cited more times. And then
Okay,
then
okay.
I recited it, then rechecked it, and then I submitted one. Then report is 12%. I just want it to be below 10%. And every time my article, my research paper, or my thesis is in the repository, my general concern
Sir,
is
where are you
that
checking, sir?
the
Sir, where are you from, sir? Where?
Or-
Which university, sir?
Orkund and Trenton.
Sir, sir, don't check in. Don't check in Orkund. Why I am saying that in Orkund, if it is showing 10%, Turnitin will show you 30% for that. Turnitin is more accurate than Orkund.
Hello.
Even what about Grammarly, sir?
Grammarly is for grammar check. That is again Turnitin only. Turnitin
Okay,
and
okay.
Grammarly both are owned by one company only.
Sir, my concern is that the software, that company which has designed the software, they must pose the instructions कि you have to dispose of this 14 consecutive words. You have to not include the double comma
No, sir,
words.
sir,
These are
sir.
my suggestions. We
Sir,
can,
actually,
fraternity from the teaching background, we can ask these companies to pose these instructions while
it's
we
already
are.
there. Sir, it's
Hello.
already there, sir. Sir, you see, can you see the current? One second, sir. I'll show the slide. One slide I will show you. Can you see the current slide right now? On the right
Okay,
hand
yes.
side, it is showing exclude quotes, exclude bibliography, exclude source that are less than. After that, there are three options. If I want words, I have to give the number, how many words, like 14 words. If it is percentage, I will tell first 1%. If I don't want to exclude anything, I will say do not exclude by size. These are the three settings. It's already there. The person who is checking your plagiarism, he should know these things. Company has already provided.
The person who is checking has a bias towards me, can use this to.
No, sir. Sir, you send your
Hello.
thesis to me or paper to me, I'll check it.
Okay, that's
Yes, Dr.
so
Subhash, sir.
great for you. Yes,
Sir,
sir.
sir, I've got a question actually.
But
UGC has prescribed 14
yes,
words,
sir.
word
Yes,
matches
sir.
to be
Consecutive
excluded.
words.
But
Consecutive.
when we send it to
Sir,
good
it should be
journals,
consecutive.
yeah,
Sorry,
yeah.
sir, I didn't get your
But
point.
when we send it to good journals, they do not follow the UGC norms, and sometimes they say it is
So they
five,
are in
sometimes they
that,
say it eight.
sir,
What is the
I'll tell you.
standard one? Actually,
Uh,
I want to know. It is very arbitrary. It seems to me.
journals won't go by UGC rules. Journals are having their
Yeah,
own
yeah, yeah.
rules.
Sure.
There are good journals. They'll ask you less than 10. There are journals they'll ask you less than 15. There are journals they'll ask you less than 20. But
Sir,
you
sir,
are in
my
India, you
question
have
is,
to follow the
my question
UGC
is,
guidelines.
yeah, yeah. Sir, my question is, I'm not talking about the percentage of similarity index, but I'm talking about how many
Hmm.
word matches should be excluded, whether it is 5, 6, or 14.
14, sir. 14,
For
sir.
UGC, it's okay 14. 14. But when I
Yeah,
send a
for
paper
UGC
to,
it's
for
okay.
example, Journal of Management,
Sir, journal is not run by UGC. Na journal won't follow the UGC guidelines.
yeah, 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 yeah. That's why how many word matches should be excluded?
14, sir. 14 consecutive words. 14. If you give, I have shown you that 14 consecutive words should be excluded. I don't know if I'm having that slide
Okay,
here.
okay, sir. Okay,
I can
thank you a
show
lot.
you, sir.
Thank you a lot.
1 second, sir. Give me 1 minute.
Sir, it is specifically from UGC, but when we send it to
Yes,
other
sir.
journals,
UGC
then
only I'm
how?
saying.
Okay, it is specifically meant for UGC,
Sir,
that I've got
journals
you.
are, sir, sir, you are in India.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so you have to follow UGC guidelines.
No, no, sir. When I send a paper to
If
say
you are,
journal or Elsevier,
but you are sending
which
from
is
India only, sir. But you are accountable in India only. Sir,
yeah.
you are
Okay,
accountable
okay,
in
sir. Thank
India.
you.
If you are living in other country, you are not
Thank you.
accountable by
Thank you.
UGC. Tomorrow,
Yeah,
if
yeah, yeah.
UGC will
Thank you,
say
sir.
20% is allowed, you can have 20%. If they will say 5%, you have to be with the 5% only.
Okay, okay, okay. Thank you, sir. I got your point.
Is there
Yeah,
any other
so
scholar or
yes,
faculty?
so there is one question out here from Dr. S. Raja Sharmila comments. Her question is, in review of literature, how to avoid plagiarism?
In review of literature, how to avoid plagiarism. That is why I gave over here. If you can see this, one second, I'll show you.
Mm.
That is what I put this how to avoid the plagiarism. Proper quotations you have to. If you are from English background, you have to use quotations or other things. And this is the thing you can see MLA quotation. See, one sentence is given direct over there. Okay, that will again be called as a plagiarism sentence. Another is indirect. You see the third one. Third one is the correct one, and you can avoid this one. Third one is the correct one, and you can paraphrasing, where we have done the paraphrasing, where we have written the same thing in our own words, then giving the citation also. So this way you can avoid plagiarism.
Mhm.
Paraphrasing you have to do,
Thank you, sir. Sir, we've
otherwise you
got
cannot
another
escape.
question from Uma Ikke.
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Her doubt is, if one writes two book or article and the second book, if include an amount of content from his first book, will it be self-plagiarism?
Yes. Without citation, it is self-plagiarism. If you are not
Definitely,
giving
yes.
citations, it means here you are if you are giving a second paper and you are not citing yours paper also, it means again you are showing this is new work which has already been printed.
Yes, definitely.
The thing which has already
So
been
there's
printed,
another
you have
So,
to
question,
cite.
sir,
sir,
from
is there any limitation
For what, ma'am?
for
Ma'am,
the
limitation I'll
content?
tell you. If
When,
madam, how actually you can get more benefit? There are so many things actually. Time I was given the law. I'm the last speaker over here. I would have talked more about the plagiarism and how to avoid and some tips also. Uh, What actually was your question, ma'am? Yes, ma'am. How you
To avoid self-plagiarism.
what you can do if you are writing if you are madam, how you can take a credit, how you can get more benefit, okay, from your work. Okay, you should always, anyway you are going for conferences also, it will be having points also. Okay, try to write a conference paper, then convert that conference paper into journal article. The rule is that your journal article now should have a 50% new content. Even if the old content is 50%, the new content should be 50%. So you can take the things from your conference paper and you can add some 50 to 60% new content to it. Like if your conference paper is of 5 pages, okay, you add new 10 pages to it, make it 15 and send it to the journal.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
So, there is another question from Gurman Singh. His question
Uh,
is, what is the
yes.
difference? What is the difference in review of literature and survey of literature?
What is the difference of between review of?
Review of literature and survey of literature.
In both the things, you are surveying the things, you are finding the research gap only. This is simply how we are writing.
Yes, sir. So, anyone else having any doubt, any question? Ejaz Ahmed Wani was raising some, I think he raised his hand. Ejaz Ahmed, are you there? I think so, everyone are done with the queries. So thank you so much, sir. Thank you for the informative session. It was actually a very useful and a very important session. You have actually covered the entire, aspect of the plagiarism, right? From citation, the importance of citation, how many different type of citation are there. What is abit and supra. Then what is the importance of abstract? How to write an abstract actually, and what are the issues regarding the plagiarism, and what are the penalties, the consequence you face. So overall you have covered everything, sir. So I think that was a very informative session. So anyone yes, anyone having any doubt?
Ma'am, to my best of my knowledge,
Yes.
as a research scholar or a teacher in social sciences,
Mm-hmm.
when we are talking about survey of literature and review of literature,
Mm-hmm.
when we are serving the things, that means the things are coming up and we are defining the things that these are the things what are theirs.
Okay,
And
sir.
when we are reviewing the literature, that means there are what are the shortcomings or gaps in that literature.
True,
There
sir.
is a huge gap in reviewing the literature and surveying the literature, survey of the literature. Survey is just like I have survey the literature, what is the objectives, what are the field which has been studied, and what are the respondent, and what has been
Yes,
done.
sir. My connection was lost. Can you, sir? My connection
Sir,
was lost. Can you repeat?
sir,
Tell me, sir. Sir, one more.
my concern is that whether survey of literature or review of literature are same. Hello.
Yes, sir. I think there is some connection problem out here. So I think it's
You can conclude the session. There was a beautiful deliberation. Thanks to all the organizers.
yes.